الناس وبقي إبراهيم في البيت. The people, they went, and Ibrahim remained in the house. وجاء إبراهيم إلى الأصنام وقال للأصنام ألا تتكلمون ألا تسمعون. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he came to the idols and he said to the idols, do you not speak? Do you not hear? هذا طعام وشراب ألا تأكلون ألا تشربون. This is food and drink. Do you not eat? Do you not drink? وسكتت الأصنام لأنها حجارة لا تنطق. The idols were silent because they were rock and they did not speak. قال إبراهيم ما لكم لا تنطقون. So Ibrahim alayhi salam said to them that, what is it with you that you do not speak? ما لكم, what is with you that you do not speak? لا تنطقون. وسكتت الأصنام وما نطقت. The idols, they remained silent and they did not speak. حينئذ غضب إبراهيم وأخذ الفأس. So then, حينئذ غضب إبراهيم, Ibrahim alayhi salam became angry. وأخذ الفأس, and he took the axe. وضرب إبراهيم الأصنام بالفأس وكسر الأصنام. He hit, Ibrahim alayhi salam hit the idols with the axe and he broke the idols. وترك إبراهيم الصنم الأكبر وعلق الفأس في عنقه. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he left the biggest idol. He left the biggest idol and he hung the axe around its neck. So he broke all the idols except for the biggest one. Any questions on chapter 4? We'll do also chapter 5 today, inshallah. Chapter 5, Man fa'ala hada. Who did this? Man fa'ala hada. Who did this? وَرَجَعَ النَّاسُ وَدَخَلُوا فِي بَيْتِ الْأَصْنَامِ. The people, they returned and they entered into the house of the idols. وأراد الناس أن يسجدوا للأصنام لأنه يوم عيد. They intended that they would prostrate to the idols because it was their day of Eid. ولكن تعجب الناس ودهشوا. But the people were surprised and they were astonished. وتأسف الناس وغضبوا. The people, they grieved and they got angry. قالوا من فعل هذا بآلهتنا. They said, who has done this with our gods? بآلهتنا, with our gods. قالوا سمعنا فتى يذكرهم يقال له إبراهيم. They said, or some people said, سمعنا, we heard that there's a youth, فتى يذكرهم, he was speaking about them. يقال له إبراهيم, he is called or he is known as Ibrahim. قالوا أأنت فعلت هذا بآلهتنا يا إبراهيم. They said, is it you that did this with our gods, O Ibrahim? قال بل فعله كبيرهم هذا فاسألوهم إن كانوا ينطقون. Ibrahim alayhi salam, it doesn't say his name, but he said, rather, it was done by their biggest, the biggest among them. هذا, this biggest one. It was done by this biggest one. فَاسْأَلُوهُمْ إِنْ كَانُوا يَنْطِقُونَ. So go ahead and ask them if they can speak. وَكَانَ النَّاسُ يَعْرِفُونَ أَنَّ الْأَصْنَامَ حِجَارَةٌ. The people, they knew, they recognized that the idols were stone. وَكَانُوا يَعْرِفُونَ أَنَّ الْحِجَارَةَ لَا تَسْمَعُ وَلَا تَنْطِقُ. They recognized that the idols, that stones could not hear and could not speak. وَكَانُوا يَعْرِفُونَ أَنَّ الصَّنَمَ الْأَكْبَرَ أَيْضًا حَجَرٌ. And they also recognized that the biggest idol was also stone. وَأَنَّ الصَّنَمَ الْأَكْبَرَ لَا يَقْدِرُ أَنْ يَمْشِيَ وَيَتَحَرَّكَ. That verily the biggest idol was not able to walk or move. وَأَنَّ الصَّنَمَ الْأَكْبَرَ لَا يَقْدِرُ أَنْ يَكْسِرَ الْأَصْنَامِ. And that the biggest idol was not able to break the idols. فقالوا لإبراهيم أنت تعلم أن الأصنام لا تنطق. They said to Ibrahim, you know that the idols do not speak. قال إبراهيم فكيف تعبدون الأصنام وإنها لا تضر ولا تنفع. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, so how do you worship the idols when they cannot harm and they cannot benefit? وكيف تسألون الأصنام وإنها لا تنطق ولا تسمع. And how do you ask the idols or ask of the idols when they cannot speak and they cannot hear? ألا تفهمون شيئا أفلا تعقلون. Do you not understand anything? أفلا تعقلون. Do you not have any intelligence? وسكت الناس وخجلوا. The people were quiet and they became embarrassed. This is a story of mashallah, how the people that confronted Ibrahim alayhi salam and how Ibrahim alayhi salam tried to explain to them and make sense to them that he, in his mind, it was very clear that the idols could not do anything. They were made out of rocks. So he thought that, or he hoped that by breaking the idols and putting the axe around the neck of the biggest idol, that the people would realize how foolish they were being in worshiping these stones. But the people, because the way people are generally, is that when something is some religion is there or some traditions are there from their forefathers, from their ancestors, it's very hard for people to break away from those and try and think sensibly. So Ibrahim alayhi salam was trying to, and remember, this Ibrahim alayhi salam was very young at this time. As they call him Fatan, he was a youth, and he was a teenager at this time. And at such a young age, he, mashallah, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's calling his people. He's trying to explain to his father and to his nation, to his town, that what they're doing doesn't make sense, even at such a young age. Even though, obviously, he's alone by himself, and people are getting angry at him and threatening him. Obviously, when they get angry, but yet he's still not wavered, because to him this is very important. This is a very important thing, that people are worshiping and calling gods those things which cannot possibly be a god. So, mashallah, he presented his case to them, and initially, as we can see, the people they started to understand, even though they started to see initially at the beginning that what Ibrahim a.s. was saying was making sense, that these rocks, they cannot speak and they cannot harm and benefit. So they started to understand initially what he was saying was correct. Any questions, comments? Inshallah. Anybody who has comments can also comment. It's not only myself that, inshallah, some participation, would be.
Is it Quran?
Yeah, majority of these sentences are either from Quran, like some of them they're actually marked as being in Quran, or the story is very similar to what has been told in Quran. So. Any comments?
I think in the slides, the sentences they are marked in brackets. They are in Quran Kaya.
Right. Yeah.
Inside the bracket. These are the terms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Vocabulary.
Yeah, we can do some vocabulary from. Let's see if there's anything from the previous chapters that we can review. يبيع.
What do you sell? He sells.
He sells. Yeah. رشيد. Intelligent. يعرف. تضر.
Do not harm. They cannot harm.
To harm. لا تضر cannot harm.
Yeah, they
تضر to harm. الذبابة.
fly.
تدفع. Right. He pushed away. الفأرة. الفأر. Rat. تضع. تضع. تضاد عين. تضع. It's from chapter 3. I don't know if you have the chapter 3. That's chapter 4. Right? Do we have the chapter 3 vocab? Not on the slide. Eh? There we go. The vocab is there? Vocabulary words? There we go. Second. تضع. ينصح. حينئذ. Okay, we can start chapter 4. فرحة. Delighted. Rejoiced. خرج. To go out, to exit. خرج, to go out. أطفال, children. سقيم, sick. بقية, remained. He remained. Yeah. سكتت, سكت. Stay quiet. تنطق,
They speak.
And you speak.
You, sorry, you.
You
you, or it could also be feminine, right? So in this chapter was used حجارة لا تنطق. So غير عاقل, plural, is used مؤنث, right? Plural of غير العاقل is مؤنث. So تنطق is feminine. أخذ,
To take out from something.
to take.
To take from something.
To take.
Or let it be.
الفأس, الفأس, the axe. علق,
Suspend. Hang.
to hang. MashaAllah. Chapter 5. رجع,
Return. Man.
جي. رجع,
He returned. He returned.
to return. Right? He returned. تعجب, دهش, surprised, yes. Plural, دهش. They were surprised. تأسف,
Sorry.
grieved, sorry. غضبوا, they were angry. آلهة, gods. What else do we have here? Is it يقدر?
He can do it. He is able to do it.
Yes.
He is able to do it.
يمشي?
He drink. He drinks.
No.
He walks.
What's to drink?
يشرب.
يشرب. يمشي, to walk. يتحرك, to move. He moves. He moved, or he's moving. تفهمون? You understand? خجلوا?
Become ashamed.
They were embarrassed, yeah, they were ashamed. MashaAllah. Any questions? Should we do some grammar? I don't think there's too much new here. We can do number 4. What do we have? The first sentence we have يوم عيد.
يوم عيد is مركب إضافي. يوم عيد مضاف إليه.
مضاف إليه. Is it معرفة or نكرة?
It is Marifa, because it is Murakkab Idafi, therefore Al is not here.
MashaAllah. Um,
If we want to be respected.
where? It's just an ant, right? How do you say ant in Arabic? Ant in Arabic.
Yes. Naman.
No, MashaAllah.
Generally, we can call it Zubab, right? Everything inside.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Generalized.
Namal is B.
Naman is the
Namal is ant.
Naman.
Nahal is B.
Nahan.
Nahl is B.
क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Naman.
Namal. Namalun. Let's try something in chapter 5. في بيت الأصنام in the first sentence. What? Mm.
So,
B by T.
this is Harf Jara. Therefore, Baiti is Majroor. Asnam. Baitul Asnam again is Mudaf Mudaf ilayh.
Yes, mashallah. There was one here. In so we have a bit of an exception in the middle here with قال بل فعله كبيرهم هذا. Usually هذا is usually مبتدا, right? هذا جمل هذا بيت. But in this case, normally when hada comes before, like hada, you say you put alif lam before the ism, right? Hada al bayt.
هذا البيت. هذا البيتون. هذا البيت.
Hada al baytu.
هذا البيتون. Not two.
Right.
Because of Alif Lam.
Right.
If it is Ishari, then it would even say.
If it is Alif Lam, then it cannot be Tasdeed. Al Baitu, not Al Baitu.
Right. You cannot tanween.
Tanween and Alif Lam cannot go together.
Right. But this example, the hada is coming after the ism.
That's the exception.
So the where is that? So in this situation, what's happening? Let me just see here. So usually after hada you put in alif lam on the ism. But because in this case, the ism is fa'alahu kabiruhum, you can't put alif lam on kabiruhum because kabiruhum is the biggest of them, right? Meaning it's mudaf mudaf ilayh. So you can't say al kabiruhum.
Yeah, we cannot put Ali anyway.
Right. So in this case, kabiruhum, hada comes after kabiruhum. So this biggest of them, instead of saying hada al kabir or hada al kabiruhum, you have to say kabiruhum hada. Make sense?
Actually, I myself right now is not.
It's Haza Kabirihum. Instead of Haza Kabirihum, we say Kabirihum Haza.
Normally you would say hada al kabir.
Hazal Kabir. Oh, okay.
Right, alif lam, right?
Yes.
You say this big one or this biggest of them. But because kabiruhum is mudaf mudaf ilayh, you can't put alif lam in front of kabiruhum. So you put the hada after. Kabiruhum hada. But the meaning is this big one, right? This biggest of them.
Translation here in the slides is not very accurate.
Yeah, they said rather this big one of them did it, which is accurate. I mean, in the Arabic it says it's just the other way around. قال بل فعله. Rather did it the biggest of them, or this biggest of them. So it's more correct to say it the way they translate it. This biggest of them did it. Because normally in English we speak with the subject first and the verb after. But in Arabic, it can be either way. That's about it. Any questions? The rest is pretty simple.
وأن الصنم الأكبر لا يقدر أن يمشي ويتحرك. So an here is for taqiq. For what this an?
It probably means that.
That here?
Which sentence you're looking at?
Well,
On chapter 5?
أن الصنم الأكبر لا يقدر أن يكسر الصنم.
Yeah, so an in this case, it's a particle. Um, it changes the verb to masdar meaning. So the tense is removed. So instead of like, it's not يقدر أن يمشي that they were walking or that they were moving. So it's that not able to walk or able to move. So when an comes before a verb, it changes the meaning to masdar. Masdar meaning. Infinitive in English. So to walk. Say anything else? إن شاء الله. May Allah accept. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdika. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun ala al-mursalin. Alhamdulillah.